betrayed him. He still pictures her as you were part of
the pimp. I call him the pimp.
It's in a book that can be stolen, a book that can be cracked open in someone else. But Professor Tatuba does try to clarify when Malik goes back to the past.
Welcome back to the Key and Jay Booked Podcast. I'm your co-host Jay, along with my co-host Key, and we are going to be finishing up LaDarrion Williams' Bones at the Crossroads today.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, this is a spoiler book podcast where we talk about the book in depth, chapter by chapter. So if you haven't read the book yet and you want to catch up with us, we got some episodes. They'll be somewhere up here where I'll post previous episodes and you can go back and watch it and keep up with us. How was your week?
My week was crazy busy. I'm so excited that it's the weekend and I can kind of rest and relax. But you know, Saturdays from growing up is always cleaning days.
Yep.
So that's what I was right in the middle of. But I'm super ready to talk about this book. How was your week, Jay?
The week is always busy for me, man. Having 3 boys is always busy for me. I did my cleaning up yesterday after work, and then I caught a little bit this morning. So, yeah. So after this, all I gotta do now is just fold clothes, which is the hardest part about cleaning up.
Yes,
just folding them damn clothes.
Folded. They will literally stay unfolded.
Exactly. And that's how I built it up. So I'm like, once I clean up, I just know I got the clothes up. So I'll probably watch some TV, catch up on some episodes after, after we finish potting, and then, enjoy the rest of the weekend, man.
Yes,
for real.
It goes by so fast.
I know.
Half over already.
For real. But for those who've been out there watching us, keeping up with us, man, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate all the support and all of the other platforms out there, but we appreciate the support and the love that people garner with us, and we just thankful that that y'all like what we doing, man. But let's get into it. Chapter 26. The nominees are getting schooled on the ball, proper etiquette, celebratory type of dance. They talk mantra. They talk about the past winners. Malik sees his mother and Taryn from the previous memories. They talk about the chivalry. They talk about utensils. Which one to use. We find out Professor Christopher is not feeling Savon for obvious reasons, not feeling them. You know what I'm saying? Savon says they are about to go crazy on him. They talk about Taryn. They talk about the Divine Elam. Malik back in his room again. The whole thing back in his room, making sure his mother, he's checking for his mother now. Now he's looking for her, checking in on her to make sure that, she's not out there doing her evildoer things. So he casts a spell that he learned from Dr. Akila. He casts a projection spell to see what his mother's doing. And of course, a familiar voice comes through, and it's Alexis talking to Malik's mom.
Yep.
Let me tell you something, man. This book, it's starting to pick up now. It's starting to pick up.
It really is. And a lot of the reviews that I have read had said that the second act is kind of like the filler of the book. You're getting to know the characters, their intimate details and emotions. But after the second act, like at the end of the second act leading into the third, that's when the book really starts to pick back up. And I definitely believe that that's true. Like what you said, it's definitely picking up.
And one of the things that I did, we were struggling with trying to get through this act. Like, when is everything going to pick up? When is everything going to pick up? And at the end of this act, it
really did.
Surely picks up. What was one of the things about Act 2 that surprised you?
I think in Act 2, I was just surprised that we still didn't really know what was going on with his mom. I thought Act 2 was going to bring a lot of detail to some of the questions that we had, like what was going on with his mom, like what was her end goal, what does she want, what's happening with Alexis, things like that. So that's kind of what I wanted, and we are getting that. We see that in Act 3, so that was just my only disappointment in Act 2, is that I wanted to see some of my favorite characters, or the characters that I love to hate. But I think the thing that surprised me the most was Malik hurting Tay. I think that surprised me the most. In Act 2, you get to see Malik get really, really upset, and he's battling Uncle John Henry, and he gets upset. Tay gets in the way, and he uses his magic and kind of slams his body into a tree. Now, Aaron Samiti and Bridget are there, so they healed Tay. He's good as new, but he feels so hurt that Malik would do that, because Malik promised to never be somebody that put his hands on or hurt Tay. And that was the biggest surprise for me from Act 2, because I could believe Malik did it, because it's like he was angry, but it's also like, I can't believe he hurt Tay. Like, that's like his baby brother, so that was definitely my biggest surprise. What about you?
I would say him and Taryn, when him and Taryn, I feel like in this act got a little bit closer, and we're going to figure out why. But I felt like we got to see more of an open Taryn, Chancellor Taryn. I feel like LaDarrion Williams wrote the character to be stiff in the first book,
Yep.
right? Obviously cold towards Malik, gave him the cold shoulder, but now we can see him warming up, and we can see that he's also getting help as well.
Yep.
Dealing with his trauma. He's
Yep.
just a
He's
human
going
like
to see the
everybody else.
psychologist or the therapist. Yep.
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 So I feel like he tackled a lot of trauma in this act, rage in this act, care in this act, love. When you really dig in the root of what a middle of a book is, it frustrates us as readers because we just want to see action. We just want to see the story unfold, quick. But sometimes you need a little bit of filler. And I feel like if we just take our time and kind of go through the motions of what the characters are actually going through in the book to understand them, to bring more life to the book, that's what I feel like he portrayed in Act Two.
Absolutely. I agree. I definitely agree.
And then we can move on. This the all right. So Savant, so they, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about him? Let's go to the dance, right? They at the dance now. They done trained for
Mm-hmm.
the dance, right? They done did what they were supposed to do at the dance, right? I mean, as far
Yep.
as like training and learning, they get to the dance. They get to the nice little celebratory dance.
Mm-hmm.
And Savon says some things to Malik in front of everybody, in front of the students, and I was with Savon. No, I wasn't with Savon only until he started talking about how Malik was dragging Dom. That's when I was started siding with him. But he said some crazy stuff he said some crazy stuff to Malik. What did you think about what he said to Malik?
Honestly, I'm be real honest. I'm cool off of Savon. Uh, completely, 100%. And I mean that when I start disliking a character, it's done. I don't care what kind of redemption they have, especially if they're not the main character.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Jay, I
Mm.
absolutely love what this author does with this book. Okay, it's not only a story about magic, but it's about our history as African Americans, and it's also about important issues in our history, especially with LGBTQ, like the rights in the community, and how like bisexual, gay men, non-binary, they're not always readily accepted in the Black community. There's not a lot of representation, although it's getting better, and I think that that was a very big part of what he wanted to include in this story. But
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I felt like it was just a tad bit out of place, and that's my opinion. It felt like that message overweighed the whole message of the magic and the story. But to get back to your question, I didn't think that Savan was right and the things that he said to Malik. I thought that Savan had lost their mind, honestly, because Malik is just getting questioned, right? Someone's interviewing him. Yeah, it's like talking about his hardships and things like that,
Oliver.
joining the homecoming Royals.
Mm-hmm.
And Malik is saying, yeah, we've definitely had issues. And Savan automatically takes offense to that and just goes postal on Malik. It's like, you've had all this privilege. What difficulties do you have? You're a straight Black man and you're this and that. This is what I mean. I understood Savon's frustration, but why not make the announcement to the whole homecoming court? Why attack Malik, who is your friend, and
Mm-hmm.
call him out in front of all these people? One, two, there was another heterosexual couple that was running for homecoming king and queen. What about, what is it, Kedra and the older guy? The seniors, they're a heterosexual couple. Why did he not make a point of them? Why did he go and attack Malik? Especially, he knows everything that Malik is going through. And he put it
Mm-hmm.
like, all of
Mm-hmm.
this is your fault. He called him a bitch, even, Jay.
Yeah.
He called him a bitch. He called him a bitch. And when Malik tries to walk away, Saban grabs him. Is like, what you gonna do? Hit me? And I'm just like, look, listen. They were extremely disrespectful. You don't do that to a friend. And
You
to
don't.
say all of that, and again, I understood Savan's anger and frustration. They were tired of not having that representation. But I felt
Right.
like, look at what you have done. You've made history as being the first, like, gay, I don't know if it's considered gay if Savan is non-binary, but male couple that was nominated for the homecoming Royals court. You've already made history. Why are you destroying that legacy by attacking Malik?
Jealousy.
It was jealousy. And the thing is, this is the thing. From the very beginning, Savan acted like this. Do you remember
Mm-hmm.
when Malik first got nominated? Savan always was stank about it. And,
Mm-hmm.
like, literally from that moment. So the fact that they feel like, oh, now is the time that I can get this. You were jealous that Malik got nominated. You really wanted it. Malik didn't even want it, and he got nominated. And you went off on him. I want to hear what you have to say, of course, but I was
You
absolutely
good.
furious. I mean,
You good.
I've never been more angry. I mean, I was like, I cannot believe Savan is doing this. And then it really made me mad because D'Lo didn't stop Savan from saying those things.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah took his brother's side on that issue. Nobody really had Malik's back, and I don't think that he did anything wrong in that moment at all. He's just answering questions. I don't and then this is another thing. This is another layer to it. Savon is mad at Malik. He's not even mad, or excuse me, they are not even mad at D'Lo. D'Lo, remember in the beginning of the book, they were talking about the Jakutas are homophobic. They don't like gay members. But D'Lo is a masculine presenting
brother.
male. So that's why they don't have any issues with D'Lo, because he's chill. He looks like a masculine presenting male. He looks like a heterosexual male. I'm like, Savant, why you not mad at D'Lo? Your own boyfriend like skates by being bisexual because he's masculine presenting. He's not feminine like Savant is. And you're going off on Malik, who did nothing but support you, fought the dudes who tried to misgender you, tried to get Homecoming uncanceled because he knew how important that was to Savant. And Savant's gonna go off and do all this. I was like, nope, I'm done with Savant. I don't care that they made up. I'm done. I'm finished. I don't like Savant anymore, period.
So will there be a redemption in the third book for you? If so, it's nothing he can say, nothing he can do that's gonna bring him back. That's what you're telling me.
No, I think it would have been something that the author, but that's what I was referring to, not Savant. The author, could redeem Savant if any of the characters in the book stopped him and corrected his behavior. Like if he was going off on Malik because he was angry and frustrated, and I get it, and someone else came and said, Savant, that's not right. You should not talk to him. This is our friend. If someone corrected it, of course, and then Savant and Malik made up and apologized, sure. But what happened was Savant went off. No one took Malik's side. And Malik even talked about this. I put this in my note. He said that, what did he say? Malik says he hasn't poured as much into his friendships because of this issue with Savant. He was upset. The thing is, he supported Elijah when he was feeling depressed. He went to therapy with him. He fought on Savant's behalf. He went to Chancellor Tehran. I can't even talk straight because I'm mad. He went to Professor whatever the hell, Tehran, and got Homecoming, like, made sure it wasn't canceled for Savant. Okay, he consoled D'Lo when people were making mean comments about them on the Cayman T app, gave him a hug, and let's not forget, he used Bane magic to bring Dom back from the dead. And so Malik's thing is, oh my gosh, Savant's made me feel so bad. I'm not pouring into my friendship as much as they pour into me. And I'm just thinking, how did you not pour into your friendship? That is what made me mad. It was the fact that Malik took this on and felt like, this is my fault. I need to apologize. He did not have to apologize to Savant. He did not do anything to Savant. He did nothing but protect him and fight on his their behalf, and then Savant is gonna come and do this. I couldn't believe it.
It sounds like it. But that wasn't even the kick of the argument. Let's go further into detail with the argument. So Savant,
you like that part. Go ahead.
Savant poofs. Just think about them. Savant like, man, I'm out. I'm out of here. So he poofs to the top of the roof, right? So Malik like, nah, F that. We gotta finish talking. So Malik goes up there, poof, right on top of the jump. Now they having a much calmer conversation, but Savant has still got that fire in him though. But this is the part where I agree with him. I echo the sentiment of my co-host. I echo the sentiment of my co-host 100%, but we disagree up until this part right here. When Savant starts saying how you dragging Dom because you so worried about Alexis, right? And I was like, wow, that got me thinking, right? For the most part, not all, but a lot of percentage of the world don't really have a problem with their first. I feel like, and this is me personally, because I was talking to a guy at work. Normally, the first person that you ever have relations with, you don't really have a problem with them, right? And we were just saying, like, is it cheating if you spin back on your first because that's unfinished business? You was not as great as you was, right? So we were just talking like that. So the feeling that Malik's have because she was his first and he suffered from chronic women dependency, I just feel like it needed to be said to him, right? He was dragging Dom along. Throughout the whole book, he was dragging her along. We talked about this. They can go back and watch the previous episodes. I said this. You dragging Dom because you still in love with Alexis, right? You said it, I said it. But nobody said it to him in the book. And that's what needed to happen. So I was with Savant when they said that, and to him on the roof. But then, who's behind him? Of course, Dom is behind him because Malik starts spewing out. Yeah, I might be still in love with Alexis. That doesn't mean I don't like Dom. He wasn't saying that he don't like Dom. You know, we know Malik is being cautious with his feelings, but now he's expressing his love to Alexis to Savant, and Big Dom is right behind him, and she don't really feel like nothing. She's like, it's okay, Malik. it's all right. And boom, she gets up out of there. And I was like, finally,
The thing is,
finally.
I feel like Dom though should have been the one to voice those feelings. I feel like that you're leading me on. I hated that Savon was the one to say that to Malik. And me and you have always disagreed on Savon, or excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
on Malik, Alexis, and Dom. But I think Malik, but his fascination with Alexis, and he talks about that later in the book. It wasn't just that was the first woman he had sex with, because we don't know that he was a virgin before they met. We don't know his history before, he steals that car and makes his way on. But Alexis meant a part of his childhood that he cherished. He met her again.
Mm-hmm.
They had a deep connection, and it was hard to let it go. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people move on different ways. I know my husband is my first. He's the only. So I don't really have a I slept with somebody else before him or anything like that. But I just
What?
imagine he's the first and the only man I've ever been with. Yep. So that's why I said I'm just a little bit more old fashioned. And I'd like, even when me and my husband were separated, it was very, very hard for me to even think about doing anything else with any other person. You know what I mean? Because that's my first. And it's just not the first person you've had sex with, but just your first love, even. It's a really big thing. So I never was mad at Malik for not choosing Dom. And I'll be honest, he never told her that they were going to be together. Whenever he talks about her, because I went back and looked in the book, he always says she's a very good friend. He even says that to her many times. I value your friendship. He never ever said to her, I want to be with you. There were many moments where he could have kissed her and he didn't. And I felt like, I don't know why she didn't take that as a hint. Okay, he could kiss me here, but he's not. I feel like
He was leading her on though too, though,
but
man.
how was he
Long
leading her?
walks and all that, and
But
you
I don't think
know,
that he was leading
looking
her
in her
on necessarily,
eyes.
because he never said to her, we're going to be in a relationship. She was thinking that they're building something, and they were building on a very good friendship. He didn't have that foundation with Alexis, because it was just, we knew each other when we were younger. We just got together because we knew each other. And with Dom, and he talks about this even later in the book, he's building a friendship. Even at the end of the book, he says, like, I don't want to lose your friendship. He says it even then. So that in my head, and this is the thing, Jay,
But he
I
said
felt
something
like it
else
was
though.
it was weird that everybody too in the book just was trying to force him to be with Dom. Malik is literally moving at his own pace. He's not rushing it. Elijah, D'Lo, Savon is always asking him what's going on with Dom, and he's like, we're just friends. He said that from the very beginning of the book. The therapist is like, yeah, you gotta go with what you have with Dom. Like, look how special that is. I'm thinking, why are you worried about his relationship? His own mother, Professor Chancellor Tehran, is like, yeah, but you have something special with Dom. I'm like, why do y'all want him to be with Dom
Because
so
everybody
bad?
see it but him.
But
Everybody
he
seen
didn't
it but
want to be
him.
with her. That's what I kept.
Because he was still stuck on Alexis, and we're gonna find out that
Exactly.
he does. He does make his choice though.
He
We know he makes
does.
his
And that's
choice.
why I was like, what did the
Yeah.
author mean when he said that they would have to choose between them? When I feel like he definitely made his choice very clear. And when we get to the end, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was happy with the choice that he made, because I feel like it happened the way it was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to happen. But Savon, getting back to the original thing, Savon was wrong. He said all that stuff.
He was wrong. He
Dom
was
was
wrong.
right there.
85% wrong. He's
85% wrong.
85%
And I do get what you're saying. Someone finally told Malik, like, stop playing with her. And I definitely agree with you. That was the catalyst to make him take their relationship a little bit more seriously. So maybe that was a good thing. So,
exactly. And then
yep.
he went out. Then he went out his way to make it up to her with the song playing and the gang just setting up everything. So that tells you that he was playing with her. Because if you was doing all that, why you want to go back and set up a little motion for her to win her heart back, right? Because she was dubbing them every time they seen each other. She was, "What do you want, Malik?" You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like,
Even then, he says friendship. Like, I can't lose you as a friend. You've been such a good friend to me. Let me pour into you friendship wise. He kept
mm-hmm,
saying that. So that's why I was just feeling like, so does he not like this girl? That's what I started feeling like, Jay. Like, because he keeps saying friend. Not once did he say, let's be in a relationship. Even in the end, it's on some like, yeah, we're building towards that, but we're good friends. And then they kiss. It
right,
like, it still wasn't clear. Like, what does this mean? Are y'all together?
right.
Like, because
And it,
I don't say my friends is my friends if we ain't together.
if
Like,
we ain't together, right? I'm
yeah.
with you. And then like another, because we're gonna tackle the key points between now and the end of the book. That was one of the key points in the new act. And then
Yep.
after we move on from that, Malik comes back. He comes back home. right? We find out that he do make up with the family. John Henry has a bonfire out there. They're talking, and they kind of accept Malik back. Listening to the nature and kind of doing this. I like the way John Henry kind of brought the family back together in his own way.
It was very special.
He doesn't have no problem with Bridget or Sam, and it's just the guys out there. Say is still a little distraught, but he misses older brother. You could tell he misses older brother, and a lot of things were said at this bonfire where Malik kind of was vulnerable, emotional, with his family. I got to see another side of John Henry. I would say it was about time that he showed black men in this light, because I don't think we've had this moment yet. And I was trying to go through the book where it was just like a moment of black men healing together, not separate. But that's therapy, though. You know what I'm saying? That's trauma, but that's not together. A therapist is not like the way the men was healing
as a family
without a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like just naturally healing. Therapist is something that's fairly new in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like therapists been around since the beginning of time. It's like you did it with your family, and it shows not being treated, but black men healing together. That's like your therapist ain't gonna pray with you, but your brother will. That's what I mean. So when he showed that light, I was like, okay, showing that black men don't have to go to therapy. We can heal, with each other versus going to therapy. That was one of the things that I really did like, because we don't have enough of that, right? They'll tell you go to therapy, but why not pray for me? Then this is where I really. You want to go to the dance, or is there anything we missing?
I want to say one thing that I put was John Henry is still one of those characters that I don't know how to take. I did like the part that you were talking about. He definitely brought everybody back together, kind of healed those wounds, because it was kind of disjointed. Malik had brought Dom back to life, upset Baron Samedi. Tay and him was upset. So Uncle John Henry did his thing. He brought everybody back together. But what I will say is something that John Henry was talking about was basically slavery and the ancestors and how they can't rest and things like that. And that's another thing that I really love that this author did. Like, it's more than just a book about magic. Like I said, he definitely threw in LGBTQ problems and then the problem of slavery and our ancestors. But to me, that part felt just a little out of place, only because this is a book where there are no white characters. Like, there's not even, like, I'm thinking every time slavery or anything like this is mentioned, not that it's not important, but sometimes I really do get tired of
the white girl. Was the white girl in back in the day in Marion, but she's not in this time. Yeah, this time.
Yeah, and something that I see a lot with books written by us is that they try to tie like all the things back to slavery, and it's like, I get that, that's our roots, but this is like a book about black magic. We have magic from our ancestors, so it just depresses me when we're reading about magic and then
we go back to slavery.
And this is not a race war in this book. There are no white characters. It's not like, white people are trying to steal Cayman University or something like that. So the constant bringing up of race and ancestors, and we have to free them, and look what happened to our people. It's like, we know that already, but how is that relevant to this story when no one's trying to steal the magic of the ancestors right now? It's black people stealing magic from other black people. So all the slavery angle to me felt a little bit misplaced, but everything else you said, I 100% agree with. John Henry did his thing, brought them together, and it did definitely show that black men, therapy is good. I'm not going to say it's not. Therapy is definitely essential, but like you said, we don't always need therapists. Sometimes it's just, we got to talk it out between men, and that's just what happened, and I like that.
And then the night happens, right? The night happens. Because Malik, they encourage Malik to go do his thing at the dance and everything like that. Samedi says, he's like, no, not like that, not like that. When he was talking about, being with a woman or whatever the case may be, and I thought that was funny. Like, he's still, he's a freak. Baron Samedi a freak on the low. But they get to the night, man. And, what's her name? The one they went to see her concert. She was there. Mama Serene, she was there. She was serenading the whole concert.
Didn't it remind you of the Hunger Games when they came out in the chariot?
Right.
And then Malik and Alexis like grabbed hands. I was like, that's just like Peter and Katniss. That's literally what I was seeing, except the black version. I love that.
Exactly. So everybody coming out with their outfit. Everybody got their new outfit, like you say. They light the joint on fire. Like Hunger Games type deal. So it was the belle of the ball. Yeah,
Like,
that
I could
part was
feel
written
everything. I
lovely.
was excited. Like, I
I
was like,
could
"Yes."
visualize
I
it.
could visualize the whole
I
thing.
could
One of my favorite
visualize it.
parts of the
Word.
whole book. Yes,
And then
absolutely.
they out there. Everybody stunting. They got their Easter outfit on. Everybody Easter fresh. You know what I'm saying? You know, Savon gonna come out with her with they swag on.
Yep,
D-Lo come out with his swag on. Everybody popped out, right?
yep.
They do their thing, they do their dances, they do everything that they gotta do for the homecoming ceremony, right? And then we get the winners. Because we ain't gonna hold people up. Who you think won? Well, who was you rooting for first?
You know who I was rooting for?
You
I
was rooting for
wanted
Malik and Dom?
No, I was rooting for the seniors. I forgot their names
You
even,
was
but
rooting for the seniors?
I really was. I feel like that was only fair. Both of them was the head of their sororities and fraternities. They were seniors. This is the first time they got nominated. Why would they not deserve to win? I feel like that was the only safe thing to do. If
Right,
you
to keep everybody neutral,
keep,
right?
yeah, but then Savon and D'Lo won. I was furious. I was literally furious. I was I'm not even. I felt like because of that display that they did, they
Right.
didn't deserve to
They
win.
didn't deserve to win.
You were not displaying the homecoming values and ethics and morals and whatever that Mama Chancellor was trying to instill in y'all.
Right.
Savon didn't do any of that. They didn't do any of that. But yeah, Savon and D'Lo won. But
So
I did
then,
like that Savon. Remember they. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. They were touching base on some other LGBTQ people who were important to the film and
yes,
theater industry. So that was the one part that I loved. I really loved that. Like kudos to those people. Love that LaDarrion gave them a shout out.
that's what I would say. Darion Savon was like, I didn't know I was gonna win. Who am I kidding? I did write something down. I thought, like, look at this little cocky son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, pull out a whole speech and then goes into what you just said, the soliloquy about other people who paved the way, who've part of the LBGT community that he give honor to. And I thought that was funny. But I'm happy they won. I'm not even mad that they won. I knew it wasn't going to be Malik. It could not have been
It
Malik
couldn't have,
because Malik had to
which
do
is
other
why I
things.
said I was rooting for the senior couple. I was like
Right.
that made sense. That way Savon, D'Lo, Malik, and Dom, they can all be one big friend group because neither of them won. But
Exactly. So
Savon and D'Lo won. Whatever.
and then they're having a good night. Everything is going well,
Yep.
right? Everything is fine. Malik and Dom slide off. What we think is Dom. They slide off, right?
That was a
And they
good one.
go, we think that that's Dom, and then they slide off, right?
Yep.
So then they
Yep.
out there chilling, talking, and then something happens. Something happens.
Something happens.
I was shocked. Do you want to tell people what happened?
Yes. So it turns out that Malik and Dom are next to the bathroom. He's going in, and Dom is not Dom. Dom is actually his mother in disguise.
Which I thought was nasty.
Which I thought was
Because
kind
I
of nasty
thought
too.
I'm like, is this been Dom the whole time? Because you trying to seduce your son? Like,
But
I
that's
was
what I was
thinking that, like,
wondering.
what?
When did she turn into Dom?
Right.
I was wondering that because he kept been with her the whole night. So, and then Dom came later. But anyway, yeah, Malik is tricked. Dom is actually his mom, and they're going into this small corridor where the bathrooms are. And I will put this: I put Dom turning into Malik's mom was super scary and very badass. I audibly gasped. I was like, I was like,
Right. You
because
text me. You
because
text me
yes,
every
I
time you
did,
every
I
time
did,
you hit the jump. You
I was like,
text me because I hit you first
yes, I
when I
couldn't
was hitting
believe
you.
it. I was like, what? Especially because how did the mom get on the campus? I thought she couldn't get on
We're gonna
the campus.
find out how she
It
get on
turned
the
out, but I
campus,
was like, what?
which is dope. I think that's the best thing that he done did
I
of how
think that
she
was the
got into the
nicest thing.
campus
I think that was
because nobody would have thought about that. They would
no.
have said that, oh, she got the junk lifted up
Yep.
somehow, but
Yep.
not thinking he was thinking when he wrote that part. But they go into the gymnasium
Yep.
and he sees Shaq. Wait, let's have a moment of silence for Shaq, Oliver, right? That's his name, dude from
Mm-hmm.
from the newspaper.
Yep.
Oliver, Shaq, and some other randos. They're all dead at the hands of Malik, mom, Lorraine, drained of their magic, just sitting there dead. And Malik is so shell shocked, is the word. He's shell shocked because he is looking at them like, yo, but it says something funny. I really didn't rock with Shaq like that, but he ain't deserve to lose his life like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that
Yep.
was funny, but
Yep.
Oliver was the sad one. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
he
That
reminded me
one
of
was
Colin
real
Creed
tough,
from
bro.
Harry Potter. Yes.
Yes, yes. And I was
He
like,
died in the
damn,
final
Lorraine, you could have
battle.
got anybody else. Oliver he was just doing the interview with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just thought that she got their power. Her and Malik kind of have a little soliloquy together where they're talking, spitting chews at each other. One thing
Something
I
that he
will
kept
say,
saying. Oh, go ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
no, one thing I will say is that I now know that night for happened with Danye, she didn't want her mother to die. She just wanted to get the jump. Like that, like when Malik was saying stuff to her about Mama Aya, and you can tell everything else she wasn't, she was like, whatever.
Affected
Yeah, I
by
did that. But
it was
when it
her
came to the
mom.
mother, like she did not, even though she didn't do it, she was the event that led to it. That made me solidify that she did not want to kill moms.
Yeah, I don't think she did either. I was gonna say that too. She kept saying that, like, oh my gosh, you don't know everything, and
Don't
people
put that
turned
evil
you
on me.
against me wrongfully. But I was so frustrated because she never explained why she was doing what she was doing. She said this many times throughout the book. And of course, we find out much later. But she keeps
Mm-hmm.
saying this every time they meet. They're turning you against me. You don't know everything. They don't know everything. And this point, she says that again. You don't know everything. Like they're doing this unjustly. Like they're trying to turn you against me. But I agree with you. Even though I don't know why she feels like he don't know everything and they're trying to turn him against her, she did feel honest remorse at Mama Aya dying. But of course, we know Mama Aya was gonna die regardless.
Exactly. She was
You
gonna
know,
die
and
regardless.
I'm not saying that made it any better what Danya did or Lorraine did, but Mama Aya was going to die. She made some kind of deal
Mm-hmm.
that meant she was going to die. But still, you could definitely feel Lorraine's remorse. Absolutely. Yep. She
Right.
seems very, very like every time he mentions Mama Aya, I didn't mean for that to happen, you know. So,
Right.
yep.
And
Yep.
then Malik and his moms get to kind of fighting a little bit after they spew nasty sentiments at each other. They get to fighting, and then Malik is showing off his power. Just think about them going at it in the gym. Well, first Dom came knocked, the real Dom.
Yep.
Let's before this. Dom came, knocked on the door, right?
Because she's
After she
worried.
knocked on
She's
the
been in
door
there
because
for a
she's
minute.
worried.
Uh huh.
Malik mom sounds like Malik. She
Yeah,
turns her
she does.
voice and cutting like, yo, I will kill her if you say anything. So he comes, she starts talking like Malik, which I would love to see that visually. And
Yeah.
she's just talking like Malik, which is crazy. And Dom is like, okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out here waiting for you. So I thought that was ill too. But let's fast forward. Now they start throwing, you know what I'm saying, quixes or whatever, magic, cave, right? Whatever you want to call it. Right. They start throwing out, I know, wrong magical system. They start throwing out Kave magic at each other. Lorraine is
Yep.
using her dark magic.
He's
Malik is
using
using his
his.
magic. She wants the scroll. We don't know. We still don't know why she wants the scroll of Edon. She's asking him where is at. He's like, I don't know, kiss my ass, which is crazy. Like
I
he
mean,
didn't say it, but he said it
he
like that. You know what
but
I'm saying?
if you
Like,
notice the grimoire, where it is changes. One minute it's in his grimoire, another is back in his body, next is back in his
mm-hmm.
grimoire. I will admit I was very confused about where the hell the scroll is at this point.
Right.
But yes, he knows that his mom cannot get it under any circumstances, and he's not going to give it to her. Yep.
So then after they get to fighting, they finally break through. Terran come through, the whole squad come through, and Malik, mom, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Death Eater style, get gone. And then Malik is just sitting there with all the bodies. And the mom, everybody, Terran, they basically blame Malik.
Which
They
I get.
basically
He
blame
is
Malik.
Lorraine's
If I
child.
don't see nobody on
The
there,
only one in this room. He
right.
did have a brief falling out with one of the girls in the defense against the dark arts class. So they are looking at him like you did this. And the
You
thing
did
is,
this.
I'm gonna tell you, LaDarrion set this up so well because even I couldn't argue that like if I came in, I would think Malik did it too. And
Yep.
I'm Malik's biggest supporter. He can
Yep.
do no wrong. But in this moment, I was like, he's cooked. He's cooked.
Yeah, because all evidence points to you. Nobody was
Yeah.
fighting. She's like, it's symbols on the head. Ain't no
And
symbols
she was
on the
talking
head.
about it was my mom. It was my
It's my
mom. And I'm
mom.
like,
Your mom can't get on campus,
get on
bro.
campus.
And at this time, she couldn't. According to remember, we talking pretense. We ain't talking.
Well, she did say one thing. She said that the protection spell that Taryn
It's
put
getting
around the
weaker.
campus was weakened because the more students that got sent out or called home, the spell weakened. So I guess the spell
Mm-hmm.
uses the students' magic as well, and the more of them that are leaving or not coming that are supposed to come, it
It's
weakens their
breaking the
protection.
barrier.
I was confused about that though, Jay. I'm not gonna lie because she says the more students that get sent out or called home, but in the whole book, we haven't really been hearing about like mass groups of students going home. One, and then two, like Madame Bonclair made it to where nobody can talk about it, so none of the campus even knows what's going on. So I didn't understand how that weakened the protection spell when no students were leaving. Like we're well into the fall semester at this point.
Right,
Like
right, right.
nobody, you're not getting any new admits or people who were supposed to come and they're not. So that rang a little bit false to me. I'm sorry, I had to point that out. I was like, how is it weakened by the students leaving and coming and going, and they know students went nowhere. So that was the thing. Now we find out later that this has a double layer to it, though. It's not
Mm-hmm.
only the students leaving, but it's something else. But we go get
Woo!
to it.
Cause that was dope.
That
LaDarrion, shout out to
was
you, man. I
that
was not
was a
I was
nice
not
twist.
picturing that, yo. And that shows some evil love, man. Evil ass love, boy. That's
Yes,
toxic. You want to talk about toxic? LaDarrion Williams must have been in a toxic relationship. I'm gonna ask him that. Have you been in a toxic relationship, bro? Because you right from a toxicity point of view
yes,
when it comes to these ladies and these men. Like, what's
exactly.
going on, dog? I can't wait. I'm gonna ask him. I don't give a damn. Like family now, so you gotta have it. You gotta have it
For
this way.
real.
So they blame Malik.
Yep.
They put him in and they basically not strip his magic, but they place magical holds on him, so he's not able to conjure up his magic. They
Yep.
take him, bind him. Let's say the word. They bind him. They bind his magic until he's able to be seen by, I can't remember their name. The ones who want to take people powers. He has to go up against trial and the tribe, whatever tribe, I forgot the name of that tribe. They
I know the Quasi
hold
thing
jury.
he
Is the
tried it.
is
Yeah,
the
but that's the
Quasi?
Quasi. Yeah, I think it's the
That's the one
Quasi.
who steal your magic. That's the one who could take your magic from you. You sure? Because I can't
No,
remember. I cannot
I
remember
can't
their
remember,
name
but
right
I
now
know the
off the top of
Quasi
my
tribe
tongue.
is important, but I don't
Right.
think that's the one that they're waiting on. But yeah.
But they basically they tie Malik up, they take him back. He's escorted to like this magical domain, and that's where he's gonna be held at until trial happens, right? Malik is proclaiming his innocence. He's like, I didn't kill those people in the gym. And Chancellor Terran, he's looking at Chancellor Terran as he's getting binded, like, yo, you supposed to help me. Like, I felt so bad for Malik in this situation though,
But I mean,
because I'm
tell me, what
listening
was
to it.
supposed to do? What was Taryn was supposed to do? Like
He
all
could,
the evidence points to you.
you
Even if
know, Malik ain't
say
killing
if it was
people.
you, and I come in the room and it's just a bunch of people dead, and you sitting there with the smoking gun. I'm like, I don't think that Jay could ever do this, but
No, I killed him.
you you
That was me. It was me. I took him out. I took him out. Take me in. Take my power. Nah, I was just saying,
you
just take
going
my
off
powers.
script.
Yeah.
But
I know.
you know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like if it was so much overwhelming evidence, I would want to help you, but and I'm in charge of the organization where you've done
Hmm.
this at. Like I can't show favoritism towards you, especially knowing what we're gonna find out later. Like, what am I supposed to do? But I mean, Taryn, he a little
He
bit of
did what he's supposed to do. And the moms, she never really liked Malik anyway.
she was going
So
off on him.
she
You
was
have to be
going
doing
off
this and
on
that
him.
and that. You're
And she
doing our life and our
couldn't
family legacy. She was going off. I was
she
like,
could
my
not wait
goodness.
to tie that boy up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
Which
the time
turns
I
out that it was crazy that she tied her own never mind. We'll talk about
yes,
that later on.
yeah. We'll get to
We'll
it.
get
We'll
to
get
that
to
one,
that.
right? So they got Malik tied up. You know what I'm saying? He's waiting for the I can't remember their name right now. And I thought I would remember it, but he's waiting for them to come through and he goes through matter of fact, he goes through the trial. He's
Yep.
waiting. He's going through the trial. So they accusing him. Really is Terrence's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one, Madame Bonclair.
She
She's
hates
the
him
one
because
that's
of the
really
brain. Yeah,
going in on Malik during this trial. You know what I'm
she is.
saying? Like
Yep.
she wants him gone, like, power strip or put in like a domain like his mom's was, because she don't really care. All the evidence points to them. He's at this trial. She's going in. She wants to win everybody over. Malik is trying to profess his innocence. He's looking at Chancellor Terran. He's like, yo, please help me. Terran is looking away. Not really, I can't do nothing for Malik, right? So now, as they're about to do what they're gonna do to Malik, he conjures up his powers, and that's when Malik start wilding.
But not
You
before
want me to go? All right, I'm gonna
Tatuba.
show y'all then.
Tatuba does come in and try to help him too. She did. Tatuba come,
Yeah, she
and
did come
this
through.
is what I found was so interesting, which is why I was so mad at Malik in this moment. She talks about, listen, you can't even start this trial before they get some kind of evidence, and I think it was to
Right.
prove that he didn't even wait for that. He was just like, no, I don't want to wait. I'm just gonna break out and go crazy. I'm like, Malik, just calm down. But I get his anger and frustration. He was kind of like, look, y'all wanted Lorraine's son. Well, I'm gonna
Yep.
show
Y'all
y'all
want me?
Lorraine's son.
I'm gonna show
And
you right now.
his disappointment in Taryn, because like he was saying stuff in this trial that nobody knew about, because remember Madame Bonclair swore
Right.
them all to secrecy, and so they're looking around like, what? The fact that the protection spell was slipping, Taryn knew about that, and he
Right.
still did not come to Malik's defense and say, look, y'all, he's right, she could have got it on because of it. He said nothing. He just
But
stood there.
that's what Malik said. He like, all right, y'all trying to throw me under the bus? Y'all trying to
Yeah,
drag me down?
and
I'm gonna
he
drag
went
y'all to hell.
hard.
I'm telling
That's right.
everything. I'm telling
Yep.
everything.
And I'm
You knew
glad
about
that
the
he
Bonclairs.
did. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he did, because it just
Finally
shows
opened up. Yep.
keeping stuff in this little bitty enclosed thing helps
Mm-hmm.
nobody. it helps nobody.
True
You can't
story.
have help if they don't know what the fuck is going on. So
True story.
yeah, I just wanted Malik to have more patience, but I understood him feeling like I'm gonna give y'all what y'all asked for then because I ain't do
Yeah.
this shit and y'all keep blaming me. You know what? All right, I'm about to go
Right.
crazy.
Nah,
Yeah,
you ain't
no.
you ain't lying about that. You ain't
His
lying about
friends
that.
believed him though, which I
Of
love.
course, of course. So
They
as Malik, go
Yep.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I was happy. That was a note that I put. I'm happy that his friends never questioned his innocence. They were
Right.
like, "We're here to help you. That's all it is." And I will say, I cannot stand Savon. They are just forever X'd in my head. But I do like that they still are showing up for Malik. They're like, "We got to go get our boy." I love the
Because they
friends.
ended their little beef when Malik was
Yes,
like, "Yo, let me go talk to him."
yeah,
You know
they
what I'm saying?
did.
That's a subplot that we didn't talk about, but they would have already known if you
Yeah,
read the book
they
that they
made it
was
up.
gonna make up.
They made
Obviously,
up.
they
Yeah.
wasn't gonna
And
go through the book.
Savon did apologize also to Malik as
Hmm.
well. I just still don't like Savon.
So as
I'm
Malik is
sorry.
conjuring up all his abilities, like, yo, y'all
Yes.
can't hold me. You know what song need to play when he say, "Yo, all right, F that. Y'all think I'm a killer? Y'all think I'm the
The
rain?"
one that was playing in Django.
Nah, no, not play him. I want the song to play.
That's
Get
what I'm
off me.
saying.
You can't hold me. It's the song from Any Given Sunday. I think it's LL. I shut him down. And I need that song to start playing. Like once he start breaking out, get off me. You can't hold
You
me.
gotta
And
play it.
then once Malik break through, once he break through, he breaks out of there, right?
Yep.
Now it's like a full-blown war. They chasing after Malik, right? They going after him. Malik, they shooting stuff at him. Madame Bonclair is turning around. She's showing out, showing her magic off. Terran is showing his magic off. Malik showing his magic off. All of the
Song.
people,
Okay, I
huh?
found it.
Oh, you found
Conversation
it?
we gotta play. No, this is not the right version. I'm sorry. But you know that scene in Django where he comes back. I don't know if you've seen Django with
Yeah, I
Denzel.
seen Django.
He
Yeah,
comes back, he escapes, and he comes and shoots all them people up, and
everybody
then
up. Yeah,
Tupac song is playing. That's the song that was in my head when
that
Malik was.
Malik needed just because he started
I mean,
wilding.
and the thing is, we've never seen him do magic like this. This is what I was
Yeah,
saying was missing from the book. I miss the magic. Oh, we get it in
I
Beast
know you couldn't
Mode.
stop reading after you got that
It
because
was
they
like
just
shoom,
firing.
shoom, shoom, shoom.
Everybody just firing stuff at
Yes,
each other.
it was so
It looked like a
exciting.
real war. That's why I
Yes,
said war is
yes,
coming in the last jump.
yes.
And
It
it's
was.
like it was
He
war
wrote it
between them.
beautifully. He wrote it so.
Malik is
I mean,
showing
the
his
author is so
ass off.
good at action scenes. That's why I said I missed it in the rest of the book because LaDarrion is so good at creating these action scenes that you're reading it, but a movie is playing in
It
your
was
head.
all playing in my head
It
because
was,
I'm
and I was
listening
like,
to it.
and it's
He's
gonna do it.
firing, slashing up, blocking
It
it.
was like,
Then, as they thinking they got him, the gang pops out. So
yes,
now the gang is showing up. They like, yo, we getting out of here. So now the
yes,
gang is fighting the whole campus. This is
yes.
crazy. Like the whole campus is chasing them.
It's
It's
chasing
like what is five of them? Elijah, D'Lo, Savon,
Savon
Malik, and Dom.
and Dom.
And
Yep,
Dom. So it's them five versus the whole
the
campus
whole campus.
versus I'm gonna
But
just
they
say like the Ministry of Magic. Just think
literally,
about the Ministry of Magic. Everybody coming at them. It's Negroes in there like that's in class. Malik and D'Lo tag team this dude, hit him with the smoky. You got knocked up, right? And then they break out. So all of this stuff is happening. I'm in the car. I'm driving, listening to it, and I'm like, get him, get him, slide out. You know what I'm
literally,
saying?
yes,
Spell here, spell there, do this, do that, do that, and they just going crazy, right? And they fighting the whole campus. Like, what
yep.
did you think about that scene?
I ate it up. I absolutely ate it up. Especially because, like you said, they literally are fighting the whole campus. At this point, the whole campus believes that Malik has killed what 4 or 5 students. They
Mm-hmm.
all hate him. They're all coming after him. But I'm telling you, I wish that we see more scenes of them learning this magic because they was coming out with stuff that I'm like, I ain't never seen y'all do. But
Students.
they've been learning the entire time, and that's what
Yeah.
I feel so bad about judging because I feel like, oh, they're not learning any magic. We don't see it. They've been learning, even though with Darion, it's not going to spell it out for us. We should get it.
Mm-hmm.
They're in class. I mean, they was doing stuff, Jay, that I was like, I've never seen. I mean, just
Right.
defending and blocking and sliding and ducking and I mean, you know,
Picking
I
them up,
love.
the other person slamming them down.
Yes, Dom did her little voodoo trick, her voodoo doll trick on somebody too. Like I
This
was
scene was
amazed.
crazy. This scene was crazy.
It
Like
was
this whole scene
amazing.
was ill. I was hoping,
It
and
was
the
amazing.
fact is that they not going against just it's the school, the
The
whole school.
entire
But that
school.
just show you the school get busy.
Yep.
They not about to just let them come on there and be, nah, we wilding out too. Or
Because we're
dude come out of
black.
here, he come out of this way. Another
We're
person come
black.
out of this. Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
play
right.
that. We
Yeah. Once one fight, everybody
don't play.
fighting. Matter of fact, I don't even know who fighting, but I know they coming at you. Shoot, 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 shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening? I don't know. I just seen them
That was
fighting
my
them. Get
favorite
them.
part of the book. I love
Right,
me some
right,
action, magic,
right.
fighting scenes. And Malik, he almost got caught. He almost got
Yeah,
caught,
yeah, yeah.
but somebody saved him. Somebody very important saved him. Who saved him,
Oh my
Jay?
god! So as the gang gets caught, because obviously we knew the gang. I felt like the gang was gonna get caught. I knew they wasn't gonna go with him eventually. I just had
Yeah,
a feeling like they was gonna get slowed down and they was gonna say, Malik, no, you need to get out of here. Even if it wasn't like that, I just figured they would have sacrificed themselves and get caught so Malik and Dom can get away. At least Malik and Dom can get away. But we found out Dom gets caught along
yep,
with the rest of the gang because
yep.
your homegirl Alexis pulls up, shows out, grabs Malik up, and they disappear. The gang gets caught, but Malik is able to get away.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo.
She came in at the nick of time. I'm like, there's my girl. There's my girl. There's
Yeah.
Alexis. I was like, she's
Now,
back. She's back.
now
So I
Malik
love
using
it.
up so much powers, you know what I'm saying? They get to go and he takes her. Alexis takes him to where she's been at this whole time.
Yeah.
Right? And where she's at is where they're trying to protect. She's doing what she says she was doing in book one. She's
Yeah.
protecting the people who couldn't protect themselves by using their magic and basically kind of just getting even with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing harm to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, she talked about the lady that worked at the post office this whole time and she fell on hard times and all of these things happened to her, unfortunately, and nobody gave a rat's ass about them. So what they did was they step in and they rectify the
No, I mean
situation.
that old woman, she was forced to retire. She had to
Mm-hmm.
do Uber, and then somebody beat her up
Beat
and
her up.
stole her car. So you know what I mean. And of
Right.
course that needs to be avenged. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
what Alexis is there for. So they got this whole type of, I'm gonna say, not even like a village. You ever seen like them TV shows where like you're like the last colony? Like they got a
Mhm.
barrier spell over this particular
That they
colony
protect.
that
Yep.
they protect, they
And
put
it's a
together.
black colony.
It's a
Like
black colony.
people who don't have people to fight for themselves. And that's why I said Alexis has been one of my favorite characters from the beginning because she takes the fact that she has magic and she's like, not just going to keep it for myself and in my own magical community. I'm going to branch out and help other people. And I've always loved her attitude around that. You know, now, do I agree with her being a vigilante? I don't know because I consider myself the moral police. I'm like, girl, you shouldn't be. You should be calling the police. Like, I don't. Because she kind of implies that she kills these people. I mean, she doesn't come
Oh
out
no,
and say it, but
she basically, so no, she killed
yeah,
them.
she said I took
Whatever they
care of
said she
them.
did, she did.
Yeah,
They
she
killed them.
did. And I was just like, I don't know if I feel like that's acceptable, but I just like that she's like, I will not let my people suffer if I can do anything about it. And
Right.
like I said, that's why I've always admired her. She is a very like, I'm fighting violence with violence. And
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't care. Like, you know, I don't think she did this for her, not for Malik and not for
Nah.
anybody else. So that's why I said she's always been very headstrong, and I love that my girl is back. I was like, she's
Nah.
back.
And then that's basically what she tells Malik. But before that, Malik is sleeping. He meets a strange individual who turns
Yes,
out to be none. So Malik is
the
in the
leader of the Dayo tribe.
a deep sleep. You know, he meets what's
You
his
talking about?
name? Papa
Oh,
Papa
you talking about Charlie?
Papa Legba. Whoa, whoa.
Yes.
Okay, so he meets Miss. He having a dream meeting Mr. Charlie again. He
This is
talks about
before he comes to. So
because I
Alexis
know we
kidnaps
didn't.
him. Yeah, and then he goes to this transition period before
Yeah,
he comes to on the
before he
other
comes
side,
to on the other
and he
side.
meets Papa
So I
Legba.
wanted to make sure we give context to that as well. So as Malik's get pulled out, he's drained of his energy. So he's basically tapped out on magical powers. So
Mm-hmm.
as he's in his dream state world, he runs into brother Charlie again.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out that not only is brother Charlie a real person, but he's also a real being. We find out that Charlie is Papa Legba.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. Like, I didn't even know he was gonna get a Papa Legba reference. The only time I heard about him is when American Horror Stories, Salem Witch, the witch
I've
jump.
only seen the first season of American Horror
Yeah,
Story,
it's a
but I'm
whole
not
it's
a
a whole
huge
American
fan
Horror
of it.
Story where they do one with witches and Papa Legba is in that jump. So that one was ill. Yeah, that one was ill. So we find out that he's Papa Legba. He's kind of telling him, or Malik is asking him about. He's telling him like these are where souls come through, almost like a
Yeah.
crossroads. If you get what I'm saying, like how he do it,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
like the crossroads as he was
Yeah.
explaining it to Malik, where people either want to be found or they don't want to be found, or they're still in denial, or they just go about their business. Like this
Yeah.
is the crossroads right here. This is where your fate meets your fate. You know what I'm saying? You have to decide where you're going you know what I'm saying, through here, even though it's other people just around and stuff like that. But then Papa Legba gets sucked up. I didn't get that part. I
I
still
didn't
don't.
understand it.
I
I didn't
still don't,
understand
because he
what
was talking
happened.
to him
And
and
then
then he
they
just
pet the
walks.
dog, and then he just gets sucked up. I was like, what?
So
And it was never really. I mean, it kind of happens in the end. Something similar happens, but I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. That whole period where he was talking to Papa Legba, I didn't understand what is
I
the
didn't
point.
understand what was
And
the point either.
Papa Legba is like he's very similar to Baron Samedi. Like,
Hmm.
and Malik says that, so I'm just thinking. So we have Baron and then or Uncle Sam, and then we also have Papa Legba. I love that he's throwing in all these historical people like Uncle Sam,
Of
Papa
course,
Legba,
yeah.
John Henry. You know what I mean? These are very historical figures. But what was their point in incorporating
Hmm.
them into the story? Is it just to say, "Hey, look, I got these people in the story"? I didn't feel like Uncle Charlie like fit in. I was like, what was the point? And then the whole thing where he's like, yeah, I sure could use some candy. And then Malik had candy in his pocket. I'm like, was that a metaphor for something? I
Me
didn't
neither.
quite understand. Something that he did say though was that Mama Aya was proud of Malik. I think
Hmm.
when he
I thought he was
first
gonna see her.
I did too. When he first came into this world or this dream sphere, didn't he hear her say like, "Hey, baby," or something, and he thought that she was there? But he said, "Yeah, she is proud of you." And I'm like, so she can talk to
She
everybody else.
out there somewhere, right? She out there somewhere, but we're not gonna see. I think he probably saving that for the third book. He'll get that.
I
We'll
mean,
get that
he
Mama
was,
Aya scene.
but remember we skipped over a part. He did finally say his last words or make his peace with Mama Aya. Do you remember when he made the altar for her?
Yeah,
And
he could
we
sense
find
her
out
spirit.
yes, and we find out why John Henry is actually there. Like he was waiting because he had Mama Aya is the only person who knew who his last living relative was, but he was going through something and he wasn't ready to receive it. And he came back to get that information. And my thing is, so y'all stay mad at each other that long to where you couldn't go and ask your sister, where's
Hmm.
your last living relative? But that was John Henry's story. I still didn't
All that
quite
happened
understand
at the
how his story
bonfire where he
at
was
the
kind of
bonfire.
explaining everything to Malik and
Yep.
Tay and everything like that, and saying he was heavy on the rich side too. He
Yes,
was
that he was
basically
very rich.
explaining his life story. So for those who didn't read the book, we didn't get into it. I feel like it's a subplot. It
It's a
might, it
subplot.
might, it might take place in the third book, but basically at this bonfire, we get to learn about John Henry's wife. We get to learn about the secret that he was holding from that Mama Aya, and reason why he came back, because we found out that she was hiding something. She was keeping something from him because he didn't want to know, like you said. So if you read the book, you'll kind of understand why we probably didn't go over that portion of it,
It was a
but
subplot.
it was a
I just want to
subplot in
say
the
that
book.
he Malik did honor Mama Aya by creating that
Hmm.
altar. Excuse me, and I feel like that would
He
have been the
did.
perfect time for him to or for her to come and speak to him, and she still
Right.
didn't. So if people have said, "Yeah, she's proud of you, she's this," I'm like, "But where is she? Can she
Where's the
come out
where's
and
the
make it?"
proof?
Where's the proof? Especially because didn't the demon
Facts.
say she says certain words when she died that meant she's unreachable or untouchable, but certain people still have access to her. I'm like, she can't make herself known to Malik. Like I just
Her own grandson who's
come
going through
on,
all
Mama
this stuff,
Aya. You
right?
got all these secrets. But yeah, going fast forwarding, he
So
has that
then
meeting with Papa Legba. He goes back to Alexis.
he
He meets Deo or the what is it?
I
He's
think it's
from
Dio
the
Dale.
Deo
Yeah,
tribe.
Dale Tribe. Which
And
is
then
like he's like a gothic type
yes,
of kid.
which I
Gothic
was
type
like,
of
are they
guy.
vampires then? Because he said
Nah.
he had fangs too, or pointed
I
teeth.
don't know if there was vampires because they know magic. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where he's going with this, but I don't
But
know if there was.
I mean, in this part, they were describing how the Kwasi tribe, I think it was, like they cut magic off from all the other tribes. The other
Mhm.
tribes have other gifts, like they have other magical things that they
Abilities
can
and
do, like
everything
the
like that. Yeah, yeah,
Azizas that
yeah.
are mentioned, the fairies.
The fairies, yeah. Because he
I'm
said
like,
that he was like, "What
where
is the
are the
fairies gonna
fairies?
wake up?"
That's why I was like, where the hell did fairies come from? I didn't even know that
Listen,
other
if we
magical
gonna have a
creatures
whole
existed.
magical system,
It's
do not put it
Crave,
in book three. Just
Crave.
leave it over.
It felt like Crave. I'm like, we
Don't
got
have it be
fairies, now we
Crave,
got
Crush, and
vampires.
gargoyles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Please don't do it. We've been
I'm
going.
hoping
If it
not to
was a
do it.
5 book series, I would say in the third book you could introduce all of this new stuff in the third book, right? Because
Yeah.
then we can go into the fourth book knowing,
Yeah.
all viewers on the Onyx Storm
But
type
not
shit. You
on the
can, but
last
not
book.
not on the last book. Don't give us a
Yeah.
new magical system on the last book. Please don't do it.
But I
Don't
thought
do
it
it.
was interesting that we got to see the different tribes and see that. I mean,
Right.
maybe a vampire. I don't know what he is. Why would he have fang teeth if he's not a vampire? I mean, he said that. I'm like, so there's vampires, there's fairies. These are
Right.
magical creatures I didn't even know existed. I thought they were all human. So this was all new to me, and I loved learning the new creatures. Though I was very like, wow, there's a whole different levels to this. You know what I mean? But yep, he meets Damone or Damone,
The
Damone.
Monet, the Moan.
Yeah. and he's the leader of the Deo tribe. And it looks like Miss Faye from the library is his what, grandmother?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I was like, that's so cool. Everything is connected.
So she knew everything was going on. She had her own little, situation out there, and we knew that they was protecting innocent people. And then Malik and Alexis kind of have this walk. They go on this walk and they
Okay.
talking and everything. Is there anything you want to say before we get into that part?
Nope. I'm gonna let you go ahead because I know how you feel about Alexis, so I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear what
So
you
they
got to
finally
say.
get to walking and talking, and this is what I'm talking about. This is how these how you know these I'm gonna be very, very subtle with this. These females, she know, because she said she been like not watching, but she noticed, what about you and Dom? Even before she, what I'm saying, they go into their
Yep.
little moment, she knows somebody else, but you still wanna, what I'm saying, soil you his loins. And it's like, yo, I don't understand you because you just asked the question like you like, oh, you and Dom, like you sitting on the swing, like you know what's up already. So y'all start kissing, right? So then after they start making out, he's I don't know what Malik is doing. When I was listening, I was like, no, no, like how Will Smith when he was like, no, Fred, no, when he was talking to the doll and it wasn't
Yes.
moving. I was
Yes.
like, no, Fred, no, Malik, move back. Don't. That's when I was like, don't cheat. I was like, he ain't even with her. But I still felt
See?
like, don't
See?
cheat, bro. Like, don't go back. Don't fall back. It's like your man. You see your man going with that girl that you know he shouldn't be with. It's like toxic. Toxic. I didn't
But
want
him
him to
and
be
Dom
with
are not
Alexis.
together. I don't know. I felt like him and Alexis, their story had to play out the way it had to play out. I didn't feel that he was cheating. Him and Dom are not together. Even when he apologized to her, he was like, basically I'm working through some things. I had my heart broken, but I value your friendship. He literally said that. So
But I
I
don't
was
just
like,
throw Dom under the bus though, because this is
I'm
what he
not
said.
throwing
This is
her
what
under.
he said to
Alexis.
Alexis. He was getting hot and heavy. They rekindling, they sharing their moment, they kissing, blah blah blah. And he like, nah, because all he could think about was who? Big Dom, the
Which
person
I'm
who's
happy
been there
for
for him,
him.
the
I
person
really
who
am
got his
because
heart now.
he had to do that with Alexis. He had to go through that process of grieving and letting her go. That was never going to happen if they did not have some kind of meeting, whether that be them reconciling or whether that be him realizing like I really have feelings for Dom. But the
Mhm.
whole book, he has been complaining about these feelings that he has. Like he thinks of her when he doesn't want to be thinking of her. She was obviously something that was unresolved for him, and I felt like that was one of the central conflicts of the book. Everybody wanted him to get with Dom so bad. It was just like, but he cannot get with Dom unless he has closure with Alexis. Like
So
she literally left. He didn't know where she was at, what happened to her. They never got to talk again. There was no closure. So I felt
mhm.
like I still wanted him to be with Alexis because I really like her, but I understand that his heart was with Dom. And that's why I said I felt like, him and Alexis having that last moment, that last kiss, and him realizing, okay, I'm not in love with her like I was anymore. I always love her, but my heart is with Dom. I feel like it happened the way it was supposed to happen, even though I'm a little disappointed.
Oh,
Cause
oh,
Alexis is just so cool. Like she literally is working in a community that helps Black ex-cons. That was a part of their thing too. Like they can't get a
I
job.
can't
No
get
one's
a
gonna give
job.
them a
Yep.
job. We have a community where we've built stores for them to work. It's kind of like Black Wall Street, you know what I mean, that
Right.
we built. And she put a protection spell so nobody can come in and destroy it. I love that message.
Until
Until
Malik is his mother's son. So basically, she explains. We find out why Alexis was working for, not working. I mean, not even say working for, because that's saying it wrong.
yep,
While they was working together,
together.
and then
Yep.
when she couldn't deliver Malik, who was the person that she needed to deliver in order to keep everything situated on her side, she couldn't deliver Malik. Lorraine was coming to collect, and Lorraine damn sure came to collect. And as they's talking about it, the barrier spell that they got over is breaking and breaking and breaking. And who she with? She with the Lugawoos,
Yep.
right? She with the Lugawoos. Then we get to see the village fight back. You know what I'm saying? The Deo tribe, they out there wilding with Malik Moms because she popped in like, yo, I need that. It's time to pay up. Like you couldn't deliver, so I'm about to take y'all out. So
Yep.
then they get the fighting again. It's a nice
Again.
little. It's not as heavy as the college campus
I feel like
jump,
it was more gruesome though. The
but it was more
Lugaboos were,
gruesome. They
yeah,
was
because
ripping
it was
people
like
apart.
yes, and that's literally what LaDarrion wrote. They're ripping people apart. I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, it reminds me of the Twilight and
Uh,
vampire fight from Eclipse
the
when the
last.
werewolf were tearing the vampires apart. That's what I was seeing in my
Mm,
head. Like, except these are not vampires who can heal. These are like human conjurers. They're dead. I was like,
right.
oh my god, I'm so happy it was nobody that I knew. Like just random, you know what I mean? I don't know
Random
these people.
vamps.
Yeah, random people. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. The Lugaroos are back. They're ripping people apart.
She got
Malik
control.
is like trying to, him and Alexis is fighting everybody off, trying to make sure that his mom doesn't hurt people. But her and them
Wildin'.
wolves is tearing people apart.
Wildin'. And then we find
Wilding.
out, then Big T is what we
Two
call
T's,
him. Two T's,
double T,
double
tearing into
T's
two.
pop
Yep.
out. You know, they pop out and show Negroes.
Yeah,
What's up? And they come through, save the day.
they do.
They stopped Lorraine from, infiltrating. Well, she infiltrated, but she didn't destroy it. They
She
stopped her
didn't
from
destroy it.
destroying
Yep.
in its entirety that village that Alexis and them and the Dale tribe is trying to protect. After that, Malik leaves with Alexis, and then Alexis kind of goes on her own. But this is what I like, because it says, I got it right here. It says, so they go back to Malik's. I want to say Malik's crib, right? I can say Malik's
Was
crib.
it his crib? Was it Mama Aya's or was it?
It's his crib now.
Okay.
It's
I
his
didn't know.
crib
Did
now.
they go back to Mama Aya? Yeah, they did
They
because the
did go back to
grandson was
Mama
there.
Aya's because everybody was waiting. Well, not everybody, but when Malik's get there, him and Taryn had that talk. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Him and Taryn had that talk. And this is the thing that we've been waiting for since the end of book 1.
Yep.
Are you my dad? And what did you think about that? Did you think it was?
I knew that Malik was his son when he gave him that family ring.
Mm-hmm.
You remember before homecoming, he helps him fix the
That
tie.
I could find you.
And yep, and he gives him that ring, and it's a family ring, like it's an heirloom from the family. And I knew then that's his son, because why would you give him a ring that's been in your family? And again, Malik is your ex-girlfriend's son. You don't owe him anything. And
Nothing.
you're giving him a family
And they
ring.
killed your son. Well, he ain't, but
Literally,
the other mother killed you.
Yeah, I knew then that it was his father, and I was happy that we finally got the confirmation. But I'm gonna tell you who I thought was his daddy, low key. I thought that John Henry was his dad.
What?
Okay, listen.
It's nasty
so
work.
John Henry goes to Mama Aya, and he's like, remember he had a child.
Yeah, he had a child.
And
he didn't want to know.
Was like, I thought what the twist was gonna be was that Mama Aya raised Lorraine, but Lorraine was actually John Henry's daughter, not Mama Aya's, and that Malik was his grandson. I thought that was going to be the twist.
That's fire.
John Henry was his granddad, or like, I
that would have been fire.
Right?
It happened in Moesha when Dorian was supposed to be
exactly.
Uncle Frank's nephew.
Yes.
And it turned out to be his son. Yeah.
So I thought that I literally, when John Henry was like, "Oh, I'm looking for my last living relative," I thought it was going to be Malik. I really did.
I see that. I can see that.
You know what I mean? I suspected it, but I did heavily suspected Tehran was the dad. I'm gonna tell you, I lost respect for Tehran as well.
Yeah, I did too.
I was just like, this whole time you've known that this is your son.
Right.
He has done much to protect Malik. Like, this is your son, and they're persecuting him on the stand. And you know that you have information that could absolve him, and it's true information. The barrier spell is broken. She is able to get in, and you refuse.
And the Boncours is out there.
And the Boncours is out there.
And his mother's out there.
And he hasn't done enough, in my opinion.
Enough
this is
evidence.
Your son. This is your son. Your first son is dead. And I understand he hates
No, not his first son.
His first, his
second son. Yeah, because Malik is first.
And then I thought the whole story of even how they got together was crazy, because he cheated on Celeste.
You want to know something?
What
if his son ain't dead and we get his son in the third book?
I mean,
what if Lorraine didn't kill him
this whole time?
What if Lorraine's son didn't kill him, but I don't know. I was just thinking that. I was like, yo, that would have been ill if his son didn't die and Lorraine actually had his son and kidnapped him and, raised him up. That would have been dope.
Maybe the woman hiding in her would have been okay with this. Okay, kidnap somebody else's son. Like, I feel like she would have. But I was disappointed in him, knowing that was, because I feel like he didn't stand up for him enough for that to be his son.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, this is your son. True. Your first son is dead. You only got one son left, and you ain't really giving a fuck about him. And then it was crazy. The way Taryn is, I keep saying his name different. Do you think that he seems like the type of man that would cheat? He was done with Lorraine. He was finished with her.
Wasn't they together probably when he had the baby?
Listen, because They admit he cheated on his wife Celeste with Lorraine. That's
Lorraine
how
got
she
that
got
fire
pregnant.
though.
I mean, because think about it. She got kicked out in their sophomore,
He-
junior year of college. She was gone. He got with Celeste because remember he asked her to marry him
Yeah,
when they graduated. So he was with her and then they had a child. And he even talks about, yeah, your mom would be sending me pictures and everything. And I'm like, so you knew you
Lorraine
had a
out there with
son.
a, on top of a
You
Lugu showing the
knew this
breast.
was your son. And
Nasty
the
work.
mom is sending you pictures and everything, and you're not. You never thought, let me go get my son. His mom is literally absolutely fucking insane. So that
Hmm.
I was disappointed when he was all like, yeah, I've made some
That's why
choices.
he. That's why he love her. You know how it be. You see your face right now, like these women,
Yeah, because
these toxic
then
women.
the end is
Listen,
like the mom
technically, he
and
had a
Taryn
threesome.
are trying to get back together. I'm like, why?
Technically, Terran was having a threesome.
He was not.
Yes, he was, because
He
it's
was
two women in
not.
one. That's
Yes, at
two,
two different
and
times.
so
That's
he
what
was
I was
getting some
trying to.
old school ass. Yo, he was getting old school ass,
I was
and
like,
he was getting new school ass.
you remember when we heard that Martin Luther King Jr. was cheating on his wife?
Yeah, he was a freak.
He was a freak and he was doing it in hotels with white women and like he was having orgies and stuff,
He
which I
never
don't
said
know.
he didn't like white women. He said
I,
he wanted inclusivity. That's what he
I
wanted.
know, but it
That's
was
why he
like
was preaching it, because he was getting that white
he
tang.
wasn't he like a he was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah,
You held him in such a high esteem. So finding out that information, it did not change his impact of what he did for us, but it was kind of like, damn, he's cheating. That's how I feel about Tehran. He's cheating on Celeste after he showed Malik that vision of them being so in love. He cheated on her, Jay. He
right,
cheated on her with Lorraine. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And the fact that he knew he had a child out there well before she went crazy. You know what
right,
I mean?
right,
You
right,
could have
right.
went and visited your son, seen your son, but none of this. And then
I agree.
do you know Malik's flashbacks that he had where he was like, now I remember Taryn coming and visiting me. I'm like, bullshit. You didn't remember half you didn't remember half your childhood. You made up a crazy
Exactly.
childhood. And now all of a sudden you remember him visiting and man, shut
Exactly.
the hell up. Taryn
So
ain't no good daddy. I
he
keep
not he
saying
not a
his
good
ass
daddy. He not a
either.
good
He
daddy.
ain't, he ain't.
And
But
then
yeah,
it,
we knew it. We knew. We
but
knew.
we knew that was gonna happen. Then the
That's
gang
yeah.
shows up. They
Yep.
get freed by Alexis.
Yep. Again.
Then Malik asks Dom to go up to the room.
Yep.
That's when he confesses love, but he actually confessed that he kissed Alexis. And but he did tell Dom that he does love her, not love her, but he does like her, but he wants to
Yep.
take it slow, and that he wants to see where they go. He doesn't really feel the connection with Alexis is what it was. It was more or less she was a safe haven for him, a nest for him when he needed to be, but it wasn't real like love like what he wanted to experience. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a dope way to kind of not in the relationship with Dom, but in the aspect of them just being friends. Like now we know it's going to happen in book 3. We don't know how it's going to end. Maybe she might kick the can.
I'm telling you,
Maybe she might not. You know what I'm
I
saying? If
don't have
she
hope.
die, I'm gonna be sick.
I don't have hopes for them because even still at the end of this book, I mean, Jay, look at the way he's saying it. They reunited, and she seems to understand he's in a complicated situation. They still didn't kiss. They still didn't kiss.
But they
Like,
had a little head tap though. A little head tap.
but again,
Technically, he ain't brushed his teeth after he kissed Alexis, so
I'm not trying to
it's nasty
compare, but
work.
I'm telling you, I feel like everybody else in the book wants him and Dom to be together, and I know
Hmm.
she's beautiful. He's attracted to her, but I don't think he
I
likes her. Like,
think all
you
the
shouldn't
readers want
have
that
to.
too.
You shouldn't have to do all this to prove that you like a girl. You just like her. Like you see how open she is with him, very
Hmm.
comforting. I mean, he's cool with her. Like, yeah, you a good friend, but it gives friend vibes. And I'm like, I want Malik to be happy with whoever he is happy with. I don't think it's Alexis anymore, even though I want that. They're in different places. She wants to do her vigilante shit. Malik is not about any of that. Like he's like, my mom already is going off killing people. I don't want my girl to be doing the same thing. I don't want no parts. Dom is more sensitive, more nurturing, and she's sweet, but I just feel like I'm not feeling their chemistry. Like they seem like friends. Like
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
so
then
we gonna see. Like
I
LaDarrion
agree.
said,
I
he
agree.
has to
I
make
agree.
he's gonna
I
have to
agree.
make a choice. And even at the end of this book, like I've been saying, it's still on some, yeah, we're building towards something, but they are not together. They're like in the talking stage is what
Yeah.
we call it. You know what I mean? But they've been in the talking stage the whole school year. Like so that's what I'm thinking like
Nah, you
you
know,
keep saying he should have tapped the cheeks. Okay, why hasn't he, Jay? If he really likes her, he
he a
hasn't even
sucker.
kissed her.
Does he care
He
about
hasn't
feelings?
kissed her. I mean, now he's admitted that he likes her. He still didn't kiss her in this moment. That's what I kept thinking, and I literally put that. Her and Malik still haven't kissed though. They
That's probably
still
because
haven't
he's saving it.
kissed.
That's probably because he's saving it for the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Saving it for the marriage.
Right,
But then
right.
Then they chilling. Everybody, they come back down, and then who pops up on the jump? Who pops up on the campus? Is there anything you want to say before we get into the final situation?
Let me see. Let me read my notes. Yeah, of course, you can cut this part out.
You good?
One thing I want to say is after the last battle that Malik had, when it was Malik, Dom, Tatuba, Taryn, they was fighting against the mom and the Lugaroos, Malik comes to a startling realization. He decides that he has to kill his mother.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that part? He was like, the only thing that's gonna stop her, I have to kill her. And it's so crazy that he came to that conclusion. Everybody else is trying to convince him, like, no, you don't want to do this. Like, this bitch been killed
Killing
5
kids,
classmates,
7-year-olds,
like literally got
classmates.
me like almost kicked out of campus. Which, I mean, who knows if Malik is gonna be able to go back at this point? Because
Right.
but literally, you done all this, and they're like, no, don't
Yeah, that's
kill her.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, where is he going? I wonder what's gonna happen in the next book. Because like,
Well, his grandmother is, and he's in the Divine
but
Elam, and
she
that's
does
something
not
that
like
Tatuba said
him.
too during his trial. Like, you can't do this because we ain't really get into that either. We
Yeah,
ain't even gonna get into that. Read the book,
yeah.
but
Read
she
the book.
does bring it out that he's in the Divine Elam at the trial, and they
But he hadn't
can't do
had
nothing with
some.
it.
He didn't go through some ritual, like a
Ritual,
blood washing or something like that. So
yeah.
the process wasn't complete. So she couldn't really use it as evidence. That's what I got out of it. But yeah, Tatuba tried to have his back. But yeah,
She
that was the one
tried.
thing I
She
have to say.
tried.
He decides that he wants to kill his mother.
And
He's
then
like,
she pops
she
out.
has to die. And
She
then,
pops
yep.
up on that lawn again. She pops up on that lawn again.
No,
Help
remember
with
he uses a spell to
to
find out where
bring
she
where
is.
she is to bring
Yep.
her through, like Freddy
Yep.
Krueger, like how they found out how to bring him from the dream world to the
Yes,
real world.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I want you to, this is your part. I'm going to let you, she explains something very important about how she's able
Oh
to
yeah. So they like, yo, how you getting through all of this stuff? And she's like, I picture her like Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yep.
Kills her, like how she's just walking through.
Like you, serious
Yeah.
book. Yep.
And she's just walking through, touching the paintings. And we find out that that's how she was getting in and out of the campus, was through Chancellor Terran's paintings, which I thought was so ill, LaDarrion. Like, that John was so ill that something so minuscule as his hobby is the reason why she was able to get back and forth on and off campus. That's just so,
Because
it's
I
so
guess
simple,
his
but it's
love
so
for her,
real.
was it that his love for her
It
was
was her
in the
love for her.
painting?
Yep, it was
But
in
my
the
thing is,
painting.
if he's always loved her, these paintings are not pictures of her. They're just paintings. Why was she not able to get in
Because he probably
before?
thought about, I don't know, he probably was thinking about her when he did it. So I
And
guess if
how
it
did
has
she
her,
know that? Did she just sense it? That's what I really wish because that was such a sick twist. Like,
it was
damn,
fire. It
he
was
still
fire.
loves her, and his love is in these paintings, which is used as like a portal for her to get through. I thought that
Hmm.
was crazy, but I
Clever
wanted to know,
too.
like, are they pictures of her? Was he thinking of her? Did he
Hmm.
know that this was gonna happen? That's what I said. He's the most incompetent, like, fucking chancellor ever. Like, she's getting on the campus. You're painting your love for her through these paintings,
She
and
got
she's on
that
the campus.
fire. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, she got that fire, Key. It's Miriam. He really getting the. I'm
that is
telling you, when you
true.
dealing
That
when you
is
dealing with two women inside one person, it
That's
changes you.
so
You know what I'm
true.
saying? And
That's
you
true.
dealing with Miriam, so Miriam was probably the one throwing it on him like that when she was in it the whole time. You think she didn't come alive when she
Oh
felt
my
that
god.
sensation? Come on now. You in her body. You got to feel all that. The fact that you allowed them to have sex, right?
I
Did she
was
allow them?
disappointed in him. Like, where's you don't care nothing about your wife. You just want to
Everybody get weak in
kill
the
your
knees.
wife.
Exactly. So sometimes it happens like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it just be that one person that you just drop the drawers for. I'm sorry, but in that aspect is just Taryn and Lorraine. And then they want to figure out. So then she comes out with the Lugawoos, right? They get to going, they get to fighting. Then the Bonclairs show up. Boncors
Yep.
show up with Professor Kumale. And he's such a whole ass Negro.
I told you
Like,
I
he
couldn't stand him.
came
Remember,
through
he was the
thinking
one
he's
I
a
was gonna say, fuck your brother. And you were like, no, don't say that. Nah,
now.
look,
Now it's
see?
exactly what you
See?
said.
See?
Like, now it's exactly what you said. Like, bro, you're not even like that. You talking about you coming through the now it's like a three-way battle. You got the Lugawoos and her, you got the Boncors and him, and then you got Malik and the gang and the family, which is like a good showdown if you ask me.
Yeah, I
Like a
can see that.
trifecta wizarding farm on the Mama Aya's land. Mama Aya's land is notorious.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
then they get the action, they get the going. Everything is shaking and baking. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting it going, they're getting it fighting. And then hold on, because I have it here and I want to
Yeah,
make
the
sure
ending was confusing, so
it
I'm
it
waiting
was
for you.
It was super confusing. That's why I'm reading it, and it's
Because I
like,
remember that battle with Kumale, they was doing their thing, and then Malik makes a decision to free his mom,
yeah,
and then he
because she
makes a
was tied
decision to
up.
put her in the Legionalis hex,
Hex.
which I didn't understand. I thought that the point was to kill her. I didn't, and then
They
him and
fight off
her,
the Lugawus. They fight off the
yeah, and
Boncores.
then
So
him,
now it's
yeah,
just her tied to the tree.
yeah,
She tied to the tree right now after
they got a
after that little
portal,
battle.
remember? And then
Yeah.
it's him, Ton, and the mom gets sucked into a portal to go somewhere else. No, remember? Tehran and the mom are getting sucked down, and Malik is like, "Find me!" And Tehran grabs him, is just like, "I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you go." He sucks him down in, which I was like, "Why would you do that? You don't. Where are
Exactly.
y'all even going? Why would you suck Malik down? You've been with Lorraine." I just that whole ending scene. I was really confused. I understand Kumale showing up because he's like, "Look, Lorraine ain't doing what she got to do. I got to
And they
show up."
need this. Like, I
And the thing
need
is,
this.
Kumale needs it because
He wants to
he wants to bring
resurrect his
his
dead
brother
ass
back,
brother.
right? And that was something that Lorraine was saying too to Tara. Please, please release me. Help me find this girl. I'll bring your wife and your child back. The thing is, we understand that that's not going to be that simple. You can't just
Nope.
bring somebody back without repercussions. So I don't think they really understand what the scroll can do. But Kumali needs the scroll for that. The Banku
Cause.
need it because they are trying to restore themselves to what they
Mm-hmm.
previously were. So everybody's after this scroll and they're fighting over it in the backyard. And then Malik, the mom, and Taryn just disappear and get sucked back into time and in his childhood home to start all over. I didn't understand the ending. I didn't.
Me neither. And then, but even before that though, they went to exercise. But let's give some more context to that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is an ending where, like, if you might have to read or listen to it
Reread
twice.
it. Yeah.
So we're gonna go back and we're gonna say, right, we find out that Miriam was really the one that's in charge because back in the day she conjured up Miriam by asking for that spirit, which once was in Tatuba, which once had Tatuba do the same thing that Miriam did with Lorraine. So Miriam is this evil spirit that been around, and Tatuba is very familiar with her because that's what she did when she was like, "Do you want to get revenge?" And she was like, "Yeah." Remember, she told the story. She only
And
told half
she
the
said in
story.
the book too. Remember,
Then in the book,
me and your mom are not so different after all. And
yeah,
remember when we first thought Tatuba was evil, it was kind of like, what
yeah,
do you mean by that? I was pissed off to find out that Tatuba knew the whole time what was going on. Like,
right,
why wouldn't you say something? Why wouldn't you?
exactly.
That
Especially
didn't make
that
any sense
lady.
to me. Literally, you and especially because the mom is like, Tatuba didn't tell you the whole story, and Tatuba's like, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
was going on with you. I'm like, then Tatuba, as powerful as you are, you can't say something like, I think there's this powerful entity named Marinette that's stuck inside Lorraine. Let's tackle that instead of focusing on, oh, we gotta free our ancestors from the spirit
Mm-hmm.
realm. Like you knew what was going on. Why didn't you say anything? And that was my thing. Y'all not even battling Lorraine anymore. You're battling this evil
This
entity
evil spirit
who
that took
will not
over
let
her.
her go until
Right.
she gives her what she promised her, which was her
Exactly.
firstborn son, I'm assuming, which was Malik. And Lorraine doesn't want to give up Malik. I don't know. I still like I know how the author is trying to like look, it's not just Lorraine that's evil. It's
Well,
Burnett.
no, Lorraine is not even really evil.
But that
Lorraine
I'm
just
saying
wanted
I
the power,
still
but
think
in order
she's
to get the
evil.
power,
She's still evil.
I gotta
I
see it.
still think she's evil. Because I just feel like you promised your firstborn son. Tatuba
Mm-hmm.
said, "Make me barren. I don't have kids. She's not hurting anybody." You promised him your firstborn son, and then she admits that's the reason why she kept trying to come after Malik, like because she wants Marinette, whatever, wants Malik. And I felt like Tatuba exercised Marinette out of her. She
Mm-hmm.
did her thing. Why did Lorraine not do the same thing? Why did she not go get help? So I feel
Because
like
she
she is
wanted to keep it.
absolutely
She
complicit.
wanted the power.
And she could have told somebody,
Yep.
I made a bad deal. She
And
won't
I
leave
need
me
to get
alone.
this up out of me.
Do
But
you
she was
know who
already expelled
her
though from the
mother
school.
was? You know who she still talked to Mama Aya because remember Mama Aya. Remember
Nah, they had a
after
falling out.
but remember Malik was born.
Yeah, that was the
And
last time, and she threw
exactly,
Taryn
but
against.
she was in the house with Mama Aya, and then
Right.
they got into an argument. But I'm like, Marinette, she probably possessed her when she was in college, when she was wanting all this information. She
Mm-hmm.
had Malik afterwards, which means Mama Aya, as smart as she is, didn't sense that her daughter was being possessed. She didn't feel comfortable going to her mother, Mama
Mm-hmm.
Aya, for help. She just continued
I
on
agree.
letting this lady do this. So that's why I felt like I don't have sympathy for Lorraine. And she says, Malik asked her in the end, what do you want to do? I really just want another chance to start over. Wrong answer. That's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. You're not starting over because no matter what Marinette did, you welcomed her in here. If a spirit is in my body and it goes and kills like everybody in my apartment building, okay, who? who's going to be liable for that? Especially if I asked the spirit to come into me and then I didn't exercise it from me like Tatuba did. So that's why I was like, I know that now the mom and Taryn are all kumbaya. They want to rekindle. I don't buy it. I don't want them together. I don't like Lorraine. And
Now I
I
don't
just
think they kumbaya. Malik is like, I'm tired of all these secrets. So he takes them to like another dimension, or they like in some dimension where Miriam is on the outside trying to get in, and now it's just Malik. Malik is kind of set the table, like, yo, y'all want a lot of me? Now I got y'all in this position. They like, yo, this dude is man strong. Like
yeah,
Miriam is on the outside trying to get in, and it's like, nah, we're gonna have that family talk now because I want all these secrets out on the table. You ain't possessed right now because the spirit is outside. So now it's just you talking, it's me talking, and it's Taryn talking. We're gonna get to the bottom of all of these secrets right now, and then I'm gonna decide what to do. But even before that, that's the epilogue, and that's the end of the book, technically. But some things that happened in the book, they did kiss. Leek and Dom did kiss. And
they
he
didn't
asked
kiss
her
in
on
that
the first
moment
date.
that we were talking
No,
about. They
no,
kissed
no.
at the end, yeah.
So in the last chapter before the epilogue, Dom and Malik finally kiss, and he asks her out on a date. They
Yep.
find, and I'm like, finally, Malik asks her, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Asks out on a date. He also asks Taryn, she's still in love. Is he still in love with his mother? Which Taryn replies, it's complicated. He
Yep.
can't forgive her. You know what I'm saying? He can't forgive her, but he's like, Malik, love is complicated. Taryn wants to be a dad, and Malik is ready for Taryn to be his father because they had a couple of conversations while they was at the house, and Malik is like, yo, you're gonna have to earn that,
Yeah, because he
that
wants to
title
hug
from me
them.
because
Yeah.
he went to hug him and everything. He's like, you're gonna have to earn that. And Taryn
Yep.
is like, fine, I'm cool. So I like the fact that Malik wasn't overly mad, but he is gonna make Taryn work to be a father, which I think is one of the things that I like between them.
I do too.
Savan comes out and asks where Alexis was, but no one knows. Then things happen.
They're messy ass.
Right,
Now you want to ask where Alexis
right.
is after blowing up my spot. That's why I said I don't like Savon.
Then we find out Auntie Bridget
Yep.
and Sam, she can't sense him no more. She
Yeah,
cannot
I was
sense
like, what
him,
happened with
and
that?
she's gone. So we
He's
don't know,
gone.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming whatever happened with them, but we find out that Sierra's mother's going too.
Yep.
Tay's gone.
Yep.
Like, where's everybody going? Where's
Well,
everybody at?
remember
Everybody's getting sucked into the sky.
Kumale brings back Tay and Alexis. That's why they couldn't find Alexis and Tay, because remember when Kumale shows up, he has them like
Right.
bound, like he kidnapped them. But I'm like, I thought Tay had the little protection stone and stuff. How
But
was
Bridget is
Kumale
sucked
able
up
to?
in the sky. We find
Yep,
out that Sierra mother's gone, and
yep,
the same thing happened with Papa Legba.
yep.
And I'm like, what is happening? The magic
It's
around
like the
Mama
rapture
Aya's
or
house has
something.
been weakened.
Yep.
I don't know, but it's all because Malik let Dom live, and there's complications for him letting Dom live. And they said it. He said it. He said it was like, yo, it's just complications from me letting
That's what
Dom
he thinks
live.
it
Did he
is because
upset the
Baron left.
established order? Because Baron is gone now. So I'm like, this, and then this is the second fight that happened on Mama Aya's yard. Her barrier is weakening. It says
Hmm.
the Boncores and the magic around Mama Aya's house is weakening. Malik calls on the ancestors and they're helping Malik fight. And he said it was the choice that Papa Legba was talking to him about when he was like, you was gonna have to make a choice. And he says this is one of the choices that
I
he
didn't
has
get
to
what
let.
choice did he make.
I'm assuming that was the choice of calling on the ancestors, and then he hit her with the Lex. But I've said it was like one of those Lex Spellionis type deals that he hit his mom with, and Taryn gets lacerated, by Malik's mother's tendrils, but we find out that it's Mariam in there,
Hmm.
and that was the one who possessed her that night that Taryn's family was killed. It was Mariam who possessed her. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think Malik moms would have killed his family. She might have hurt Taryn, but Miriam was the one who took possession over her that night and killed the family. I don't think his
But what
moms would have
motive?
killed.
But what
Probably hate,
motive would? But
but I
think
don't
about
think
this.
that it was from them killing her.
Miriam wants to get revenge, right? Remember when she was into Tuba? Tuba was very, I want revenge and on these people. And Miriam was very targeted
Hmm.
in her revenge against the people who had burned that girl alive at the stake.
Right,
Remember? And then
right.
Tuba got rid of her. So Miriam does not just act on her own accord. She comes when she is called. What reason would she have had to go over to Professor Chancellor Tehran's house and kill his wife and child? She would have had no motive. She didn't want his wife. She didn't want his child. She wanted Lorraine's firstborn child. She
Right.
wanted Lorraine's child, Malik. So, what reason would she have had to go to Tehran? Even the people that are dying because Lorraine is possessed by Miriam, they're dying because she is trying to give her the magic that
Right.
she's not getting because she will not give up her son. That's why she's killing those people. And that makes sense because they have magic. She has to have magic. She's trying to feed this person possessing her.
Mm-hmm.
What reason would Miriam have had to go and kill Tehran's wife and child? That was not me. That was Lorraine, and I fully 100% believe it because Miriam is an evil
We
entity,
gonna
right?
find out.
But she. What reason would she have had to go and kill them? And think
I
about
think
it.
she
When
took
she
over her because
possesses
she was in her
Lorraine,
mind.
but think about when she possesses Lorraine, what does she do? She kills people, yes, but she's stealing their magic. She's not just killing people to kill people. She has a very distinct goal. I'm killing them to get the scroll. I'm killing them to do this. When she attacked Tehran, that was out of jealousy. He didn't have anything that she wanted. He didn't have the scroll. Killing him was not going to bring Miriam or Lorraine closer to anything. That was Lorraine. That's why I said I know what the author is trying to do. He's already trying to build her redemption story, Lorraine's redemption.
I
Like,
don't
look,
know. We got to
it's,
find out.
it's
But that's
not
why we saying.
her, but
But that's why he's it. That's why
I don't trust
this.
Lorraine. Is my
That's why
point. I
they in
don't.
this parallel universe
Yeah,
right now, and we're gonna find out all the questions that need to be answered. Because I feel like Malik is now. You cannot lie. So now we're gonna see if it was you. That's why I feel like now we're gonna find out in book
yep,
3
yep.
if it was really her or if she was possessed the night of the murder. And I feel like
Which
that's one of
they
the
tried
answers
to
that we're
imply
gonna.
that because
That's why I
going
was
back,
trying to tell you.
her eyes were red, and I get that they're
I
trying
don't
to
think it
imply
was
like,
her. I
oh,
think
she
it was
was
the
possessed.
possession.
But Lorraine is aware of the stuff that she's doing. That's what I'm saying. I don't
Do
think
we
it's
know that though? Do we know that? We don't know that.
Tuba was aware that the girl was doing stuff and she went too far. She was like, "Get out of me immediately." So that's what I. The only reference I have is to Tuba. To Tuba got her revenge.
But
She
you know,
realized
she
she
be
went too
talking in
far,
circles too, so
and
you
she kicked her out.
can't just
But I
trust the
did.
tuba. She be talking in circles sometimes.
But Lorraine never got help, and I don't know. I feel you. Like maybe it's not her. Maybe it was Miriam the whole time.
But
Say
even
it
still,
was.
she still killed the
That's what
family.
I'm
But
saying.
we gotta
That's
see,
what
we
I'm
gotta have
saying.
it has to be context in that too, right?
And she said, I told you, he's already building her redemption. When he asked her, "What do you want?" I just want to start over. I want a second chance.
Nah,
What
ain't gonna be
second
no
chance do
second
you
chance. They
get?
probably gonna
To
banish her,
kill
take her
his
magic,
wife
and do
and
all
his
that
child,
stuff.
even if it was Miriam, honey, Tehran, it was Miriam. Like
Or
I
maybe we don't know what's gonna happen in the next book. Maybe they not. I
don't.
don't know. Maybe they in the
He needs
prison
to
where
hurry up. He
we
needs to hurry
can't, we
up.
can't, we
I'm
can't say
impatient. I
anything,
need
man.
the next book immediately.
Well, I seen on his Instagram that he was writing the story, man.
Yes, I
And he's
keep
writing
seeing
the
him
story for
writing.
the
I'm
third
like,
book. But
oh
that's
my
next year.
god.
Lord knows. Probably get it next year, October. I'm gonna say October next year, because this book came out later than the book that came out the year
Yeah,
before. So this book coming out later. I wouldn't expect it around this time next year
yeah.
as well. Because he's still on tour and everything like
Yep.
that. And I know he's writing
He's
in
been
between,
killing it. He's been everywhere.
I wouldn't see. But before we get out of here, man, here we do. This is our second book that we've covered on the Key and J Book Podcast. We do this thing where, again, like if you grew up watching Double XL, watching Vibe Magazine, how they used to give 5 mics to classic albums. We're doing the same thing. We're here with the books, though, so you can't steal it because we did it first. Here we do bookmarks instead of album, instead of mics. We do bookmarks here. So on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the lowest. What do you give Bones at the Crossroads by LaDarrion Williams for the reader out there?
I would give it 4 bookmarks.
You're giving it 4 bookmarks. Why
I
are you
would give
giving it
it
4 bookmarks?
because many people, if you've been watching, I absolutely have so much love and adoration for LaDarrion Williams. We got to interview him, but one thing that I take so serious is the books that I review. No matter if you're my favorite author or not, I have to be honest about the thing. So I'm just saying that to say I know throughout the podcast I've been kind of critical of this. I don't like this. But those things did not really detract from my enjoyment of the story. It's just I'm a
Mm-hmm.
details oriented girl. Like, if details are not lining up, I'm gonna have to point it out. But I love what he did with the story, the LGBTQ representation. Like I said, bringing in our other issues. It was a story that was so much more than just about magic. And my favorite character throughout this whole thing has been Malik. I have been his champion, his warrior from the very beginning. And my favorite thing about the book is you can see his character progress. You can see him get stronger. You can see him get more mature. You can see him put more emphasis on his friendships and his loved ones. And I just really liked his journey. And even with some of the issues that I seen, and there were a lot of issues that I talked about, do not get me wrong. I still believe the story deserves a 4 bookmarks out of 5 because I couldn't put it down. Like, and I loved coming and talking to my co-host Jay about it. I was so excited after every 5 chapters we would do. It would kill me to stop at just 5 chapters because LaDarrion is really good at leaving you on a cliffhanger. You want to keep going, and so I just have so much love and so much respect with what he did with the book overall. So I would definitely give it a 4 bookmarks out of 5.
Well, something that's going to upset the established order and create a little bit of chaos, right? I am going to give the LaDarrion Williams book a 3.5. And the reason why I'm gonna give it a 3.5 is because I have to see what this first conversation is with Malik and his mom. Are you gonna bring it home? Right? Are you gonna bring it home with I need to see what the subplot was, right? What was the issue with why you got them in that parallel universe or whatever dimension, right? I need to see this. So for me, I got a whole reservation until I get that first order. But for right now, I give it a 3. If I'm being honest, I had it at a 4, but I took the half a point just because I have to see what happens when we move on to the next book.
I actually had my original rating was 3.5 out of 5. And I felt like I was just being so overly harsh. Like I go back and look at our videos and I'm like, damn, I'm clowning my God. Like I'm just like this and this and this. And that's something, like I said, I have to be honest, no matter what I feel about the author, about the book. But then when I went back and I was looking at my notes, I was like, there's so many things that I really, really love that LaDarrion did with the book. And like I love how he includes all these Black characters. And even though I don't feel like they always fit into the story, I love a book that's made by us for us. And it was the legacy LGBT people in the theater and the film community. I love that was included. I love the legacy characters, Uncle Sam, Papa Legba, Uncle John Henry. Like the book felt magical at certain points. The act 2 was a little slow, but like I said, I feel like I was overly critical from the very beginning. And I don't think that was 100% fair. And when I go back and read my notes, I realize how much I really did enjoy the story. I got to be honest about the things that I see that I did have issues with. So.
Nah, he gotta bring it home for me because I'm on the cliffhanger. I'm gonna go back, and if he bring it home for me on that first one, we gonna come back and I'm gonna say it's a 4. I have it at a 4, but I'm reserving that 0.5. How he's bringing this Lorraine story home. I need to see, like you said, I want to know what he has them in there for, because he said, all right, now it's just us 3. Miriam is kicking at the door, trying to get in the entity at the windows, but Malik is shutting her out with his abilities. He's handing out plates and all that. All right, where are we going from this? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I want to see if he tackle it in the beginning of the book, get it out the way. If he makes us wait for that conversation,
you mean like
I'm holding
making us wait to see that Taryn was the baby daddy?
Yes. If he makes us wait, I got to take a point off for making me wait. Yeah. I got to be harsh about that one, LD. But it's a 4. I just taking that 0.5 because if you give me that in the beginning, but it was still a good book, man. I enjoyed it. I think whoever reads it.
But that's what we do here at the Key and J Book Podcast. Like that's why we do these episodes little by little, because we want to go in depth. We want to talk about everything that we like, that we didn't like, and give y'all the details. You know what I mean? Then I feel like our ratings are the best because we really go in depth. Like we're discussing it. You know what I mean? We're not just like, oh, this is just this.
Locked in.
Every single episode, we're locked in. Absolutely.
Facts. But we enjoyed it.
Book. I can't wait until the next book.
Yes, we enjoyed it, man.
LaDarrion Williams, hopefully again, just to get his thought process on this book and try to get some sneak peeks into the next one.
Facts.
Because I can't wait.
Facts. I'm gonna definitely hit him up too, man. But man, this is probably one of our longest episodes, man. And we still miss. Trust me, y'all. We know it's a lot of stuff we didn't tackle. We can get into the conversation with Malik and Mary and Madam Empress Bonclair when she says she still can't fathom him as her grandson, as family. Like, trust me, we read the book. We just didn't put it on because we'd be here for 3 hours trying to dissect every little piece. You know what I'm saying? Even John Henry getting a letter. Even John Henry getting a letter from Malik, giving him the letter at the at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot that we didn't cover, which is subplot, but that should be in order for you to read the book.
Read the book and you will understand all of that. Yes.
All right, yeah. She's that reader. I'm just a speaker. Peace.
Bye.